So creating certainty. How do we then bring these things together? How do we apply them on a project? The area is 6,000 odd square metres. There's 36 units on the job and it's over 5 levels. And our intention in this case is to build it through an arm's length builder. So a key thing here is how we shift the risk. We can get the deal together, but then the ultimate thing to create certainty is we need to shift the risk. What we know is that the cost is $12.7 million and that rate is $2,091 a square metre. We know that the target cost at this stage, I think, aim for about $18.15, and we know we should be able to get a little bit under that. That's a required saving of $1.7 million. Now, there's more intelligence to share with you here. It's about the functional analysis of the buildings. Get the project as efficient as you can, bash it into shape, then you talk to a builder. If you talk to a builder in the beginning, your price will just go up from that point in time. So the skill here is getting your job in the right sort of shape, and then it's the time to talk to a builder and get his experience, his wisdom, and his intelligence to apply to it. So looking at this job, the residential area per unit on this project is 98.5 square metres. So here we're talking about the total area of units internally divided by the number of units, not how much each type of unit is. We're also monitoring what the common area is and the car park area. The total area of this building per unit is 169 square metres. The residential area and the balcony area are important because that's what drives our saleable area. So this one is working at, is turning out an area of 132 square metres. When we bring that back, it's the efficiency that's important here. What's the relationship between our saleable area and what's costing us? What I find alarming in this is that in this project we're spending 70 square, we're providing 70 square metres of building that isn't turning out an income. So for my mind, this is somewhere where we can start to bring this project more into shape. When we look at the first scenario, what if we changed the area? What would happen? The bottom line figure here is the cost would drop to $6.7 million. So it's a significant shift in terms of the turnout. All we've done here is reduce the average area to what the market is telling us, which is 102 square metres. Now that's not actually attainable, but it starts to set some parameters. The real savings to be made in buildings is about making them efficient. The next saving to make is deliver it to a market that's keen and competitive, and you'll get the best price that you have seen. Another question to ask is, if we kept the same area, how many units would we turn out? In this case, we'd turn out 59. The efficiency in terms of the relationship between the saleable area and the building area is still remaining about the same, but it starts to allow us to measure those questions. Are we getting value in the dollars that we're spending in the different places? And it's the area to test those sales prices and make sure that every dollar we spend is adding to the bottom line and is valuable. From here, I start looking at alternatives, and just one, which was a really simple one, and Archie Field prepared this change for us, was just strip off some balconies. You know, we're looking for a saving of about $1.7 million. Just by doing a very simple shift here and just trimming the balconies back, we're saving 10 square metres per apartment. Not enough, but it's an easy one to do, and it develops a saving of $250,000. The question here is that $250,000 adding anything to the sale price? And it probably isn't. So $250,000 I think is worth having in your pocket. If we looked at other things, an alternative of shifting from precast to blockwork, we can then produce a further saving of $0.6 million. We need to be careful in these areas. We don't want to impinge on what the builder brings to the table. So we're not talking about buildability issues here. We're just talking about materials alternatives. All of this is recompiled through the model, so it happens by a change. It's re-import the model and redevelop the costings. So again, we're starting to sort of pitch along to our $1.7 million. What I want to do here is just give you an idea of some of the savings that can be made and how you might be able to apply these things to your projects. The next question is shifting the risk. Then what do you do? We've gotten our concept together. We've bashed the project into shape. We have our 3D design. We've mapped that model through, so we've got costings that relate to it. And it's now time to talk to the builder. So we're looking for a price. This is the time, and it's the difficult thing at the moment, right? There's always this drive to get to a price. If I need to know where I'm at, I need to talk to a builder today. And that's cool, and it's a good thing to do, but it works against you because that initial price ultimately is going to go up. So the secret at the moment, while we've got time in the market, is to get things right and get that starting price as low as we can. Then you can negotiate with a builder. You can talk about his buildability issues. You can bring that into the model and you can start exploring more alternatives. The next stage is shift the risk. So enter into a design and construct contract. This is something that's underutilised in the market at the moment. So of all of the projects that we've got just with financiers, I think there's about 260 of them at the moment. 70% of those are lump sum building contracts where all of the risk is on the developer. There's only 20% that's in this design and construct space. There are builders that are offering this service and it's actually economical at the moment. 3 years ago, design and construct was something that was not very affordable. The key here is to use really good design, use architects and designers that can come up with the things that are going to make your projects unique, but then shift that risk. Because all we want to step away from is the variations. The killer in development is purchasers' variations and that style of thing. I think the thing to look for is a contract that's hands-free. Once you've signed it, just leave it alone. You just want to pay. Just pay the progress payments each month. Each time you introduce a variation, you're incurring more costs on the contractor, and it makes the job go potentially bad. We also want to set up a contract that has some room for the builder to work in. So the PPR, the Principals Project Requirements here, is your sales information. The key thing is for the builder to build what you sold. Allow him the room to be able to make changes that are going to make the project work for him. But he cannot change the things that affect the quality of the product that you're providing, that's represented in your sales brochures, as well as your promise. And we've seen this before. With the changes in construction and in difficult times, people decide they don't want to buy that unit anymore. So it's key that we build what we sell. Other thing to look at is start to have that builder preparing the title plans. So he's responsible for certifying, he's preparing title plans, and you get a more of a turnkey type product. And it's quite affordable. Finally, what you then need is about a year to go away and sell your apartment. So you need to talk about locking in that escalation, how you go about it. Is that builder capable of keeping this price for you? If he is, under what conditions? And start to set up a way and a strategy that you can deal with that issue. All the while, you're trying to protect from what happened in 2003.